G'day, Chief. Welcome to the Inner Chief podcast and this special episode, which we call the Mini Chief. These are short, sharp highlights from our fabulous CEO guests, where you get a 5 to 10 minute snapshot of the highlights from their episode. Righto, Chief. Without further ado, here is the Mini Chief episode for this week with Natalie Cook, OAM, OLI Olympic champion. I want to talk to you about two more things around Olympics. One is 2032 Brisbane Olympics and your role there, but then also about, your Green and Gold Athletes organisation that you launched last year. Let's just start with Brisbane. What role are you playing with the 2032 Olympics? And I suppose that I want to link in the point you just made there about how we rise in the tide. I assume we want Brisbane to be the greatest Olympics ever. I know that was Sydney's big claim, right? Greatest Olympics ever. How do we go about that?
Yeah. Well, it is. I'm now Brisbane. I've been there a long time when I moved from Townsville. We are very unique. Australia is only one of two countries, the other being the United States, where we've had 3 Olympic Games in 3 different cities. I mean, to have Melbourne in 56, Sydney in 2000, it absolutely is Queensland and Brisbane's turn to shine. But we also have to make sure that it is the whole of Australia get to feel like they're connected to Brisbane 2032, the way everybody thought or felt connected to Sydney 2000. So that's one of our biggest challenges. We do find people going, oh, it's all about Queensland. It's like, well, it's not. It is if you believe it is, but how do we connect you in? So part of my role, I'm on the board. I was very fortunate enough, the Premier of Queensland at the time nominated me to be a director on the board. It is a large board of 22, and it needs to be that large because there's lots of work to be done, and it makes sure that we have a very diverse and inclusive of all stakeholders. So I represent not only the athlete voice, which I'm very passionate about, but also Queensland's voice and the whole of, as you've heard, one of the things that I do is elevate up and get the helicopter view of the whole ecosystem. So from the International Olympic Committee to the Australian Olympic Committee, Paralympics Australia, all of the sports, how they feed in, how do the athletes feed in, which I believe they always get left to last when they should be put up at the top.
Yep.
So I'm a director on that board, and I've been there for a few years. I've got a few years left in my term, and we'll see if I keep going all the way to 32. But I will be a part of it, whether people like it or not. I'll be at,
Absolutely.
I absolutely encourage people now, even wherever you are in the world, put it on your vision board, put it in your heart and soul to be a volunteer, a worker, a business that supplies through the procurement, a ticket holder. It is just the greatest. Paris 24 this year, LA 28. I'm going to Paris for 3 months to experience the Olympics and the Paralympics. I've never seen a Paralympic Games.
Oh, wow.
So, I'm super excited. So that's my role there for Brisbane 32. Lots to be done. We got big, ambitious goals around climate sustainability and First Nations and accessibility and mobility in that disability space, athletes and sports. And, there's many things to be done.
Outstanding. Hey, look, one of your great passions is, and you spoke about your own challenge, resourcing your own career, is that there are so many outstanding athletes out there who just don't have the ecosystem around them, right? They don't have the coach or the money, or they can't get to training, or there's always something there. And so you've started an organisation called Green and Gold Athletes. Can you tell us a bit about that and maybe how can we all help?
Well, the legacy for me, I did 20 years of Olympic sport, and now I'm halfway through my 20 years after retirement. So I'm 10 years on. Ironically, I retired in 2012. 2032 will be 20 years on. So, look for me to ride into the sunset after the closing ceremony of the Paralympics. But I really do believe that with the rising cost of living and from Australia to travel anywhere, if you tried to book a holiday, Greg, anyone's tried to book a holiday, the costs are up I was talking to a travel agent the other day, 40% on flights accommodation, right? So imagine you're a young athlete that's excited about Brisbane 2032. You're a 14-year-old BMX rider who will be 22 at the Olympic, perfect for Brisbane. Mum or dad's got to go. So now there's 2 fares. This is for a 2-week tour of duty in the Jersey.
Yep.
And it's 20-30 grand. And so what I see it everywhere, from taekwondo to badminton, to BMX, to skateboarding, to water polo, to hockey, to cricket. There is a distinction between those small few sports like tennis, golf, cricket that may have money, and basketball, big money at the top, but there's still a lot of challenges in the pathway for single parents trying to send their water polo athlete or their basketball athlete to Asia or Europe for competition. So that's the problem to fix. How do we then, and one of the challenges is there's so many. How do you know which athletes to back? Who's going to make it? We don't know. You've got to give the whole ecosystem the opportunity. So with Green and Gold Athletes, I've taken on for the next 8 years to be a mentor, fundraiser, supporter. And what we're working on for this year, we haven't launched yet, so it's a bit getting close, Greg, is a fundraising challenge that all athletes with the dream and the aspiration to wear the green and gold for Australia can enter the fundraising challenge. They'll be matched with businesses and individuals that want to help their journey and mentor and help their fundraising. And the goal is to get all of our athletes to raise their first tour of duty money, which is $10,000.
Okay.
So I'm gonna issue the challenge. We're going to go with our first 100 athletes with 100 businesses to raise $10,000 each to raise $1 million in the athlete economy and the athlete ecosystem. And so I've got plenty of athletes. I've got 1,000 athletes ready. We need businesses that are prepared to say, I'll help. I'll run a morning tea. I'll run a lunch. I'll run raffles. I'll run a golf day.
Sure.
I'll help mentor and set up their financial roadmap. I'll donate some money. All of that is what we're sort of looking for people to do, to say, yeah, I'll help one. We're trying to spread the love. We're trying to spread the burden and ease the financial pain for the next generation in the green and gold. And that's what I'm trying to work on.
Okay, so if anyone wants to get involved with that, we'll put all the links in the show notes just to make sure we love it. And when it goes live, let us know. We'll put it through the socials as well. Try and lure some people.
Fantastic. Yeah, we're pretty close right now. I'm on the edge. You know, when you're building out the new startup phase of businesses. We're a not-for-profit. We've got tax deductibility status through the Australian Sports Foundation, and looking for anybody that is willing to support money, time, resources. Because I've also found there's a lot of chiefs out there that wanted to be athletes, almost made it, showed promise, and then couldn't afford it, so decided they had to choose to go and get a career, law, accounting, entrepreneurialism.
Actually,
so I'm finding a lot of those guys and females. When I say guys, it's all of us. Coming back to say, hey, I thought I was going to make it in javelin and I didn't quite get there. I chose to be a lawyer, but I'd be willing to help someone.
A remarkable percentage of our chiefs were good at sport as kids, or at least had an absolute passion for it, right? And I'm sure it's the competitive nature and the flow that comes from that they really love, and that mastery piece. They're also curious. They just want to be better all the time. There's that trait that runs similarly between the two.
Well, and as we all know, there's nothing like sport to teach winning, losing, teamwork, compassion, conviction, competitiveness. I mean, my daughter is 8. She's an only child. We do re-taekwondo on a Monday. We do tennis squad Tuesday. We've got swimming, and she's in, and just learn some individual sports, some team sports. It's really important to, and my winning, like my family do not like me because I win at everything I do because I choose to. If I lose the card game, I won the toss, or I went first, or mine was I had Mayfair and Park Lane and you did it. It's all a reframe.
Yeah.
And it's fun and it keeps us on top. And I always ask my daughter, when our head hits a pillow at night, I say to her, what did you win at today? Now, most of us as humans can find a thing we didn't. It's really easy to tell you what's going wrong or the challenge. But when you sift and sort through all of the challenges and get to the one thing that went right in the day or that you feel like you won at, and you go to bed at night sleeping on that, you wake up the next day ready to go again, right? Rather than waking up and going, I've got to fix that, I've got to fix that, I've got to fix that. So that's one of the secrets.
Chief, there you have it for this week with our Mini Chief episode. Chief, all the links and show notes can be found at chiefmaker.com/326. And if you'd like to stay in touch with Chief Maker, just go to chiefmaker.com/subscribe. Chief, one of the core skills of all great chiefs is the ability to interview and recruit the very best performers to your team. Now, many chiefs say to me that they get up to 25 or even 40% of their recruitment decisions wrong. Now, many of you who listen to this show will know that over the last 6 years, we have asked dozens of CEOs what is their number one interview question when recruiting for senior roles. What we have done is turn that into an invaluable resource. It is the 30 most powerful interview questions used by CEOs to hire high performers. These are the questions that reveal the true nature of the person in front of you. They are the ones that give or create that truth-telling moment that will help you decide whether to hire or not. Chief, if you want this resource, just go to chiefmaker.com/interview and just pop in your details and download the detailed PDF.
Righto, Chief. As always, remember to stay epic.